And I mean, I've seen postings for nanny jobs, but again, the hours are way too long. I mean, they're 10-hour days. And I did 10-hour days for like 3 to 4 weeks in the summer with Kyle. And by the end of the second week, maybe even by the end of the first week, I don't know how I did 4 weeks of it, because by the end of that, like, I was just so dead tired. I mean, it was just, I don't know how I made it through those 4 weeks, and there's no way I can do that every day all year. Like, forget it. It's just not going to happen. And then, you know, on top of that, all these people also require, like, that you do a ton of housework. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I can barely get my own housework done, let alone, you know, doing someone else's and caring for a child. Like, it's just not, it's not going to happen. And it's really not a matter of joint pain anymore. Like, okay, today, this finger here is quite bothersome. And, you know, I do get little aches here and there, but my joint pain is pretty controlled right now, and that's great, because, I mean, like I said, I'm on 4 milligrams now of prednisone, and, you know, I thought I would be in a ton of pain, and I'm not. So I'm thankful for that. I mean, I could be in a lot worse shape. My nausea comes and goes still, but it's been less. I have a bit of it this morning. But it really is, at this point in time, it's the fatigue and it's headaches. I had a bad headache last night when I went to bed. I still have a bit of it now. And my eyes just burn, and, you know, I feel like I can barely keep them open. Like, it's hard for me to even watch something on TV right now, or be on the computer, or, like, or do anything. Like, my eyes just burn. And, you know, I put the eye drops. Maybe I'm supposed to be doing them more frequently. I'm not sure, but they're bad. And so, I mean, it's a matter of my energy level. And, like, I just can't. And then, you know, if I do overdo it in terms of, you know, housework or other things, then I do pay for it with pain. You know, I may not be in pain while I'm doing it, but I'm in pain if I overdo it. And, like, even the rooting, like, I'm sitting, but I'm sitting for a long period of time and in a not so comfortable position. And so, you know, like, I'm constantly looking down like that when I'm doing it. And so then I get a sore neck, which I think is anyone that does rooting gets a sore neck. But I get a sore neck, and then, you know, sometimes my fingers too, just from holding everything and the movement in my hands. I mean, it's almost like knitting, in that, like, you know, imagine you have arthritis and you're trying to knit. It's that kind of thing. Like, so after a while, you know, my arms, or like today, my elbow's bothering me too. So, like, and it's my right arm, the arm that I use to put the needle in. So, I mean, I'm going to try to do it today. I don't know how it's going to feel, but, I mean, it's just things like that. And then, you know, with cleaning, like, housework, you know, I can do it okay if I go slowly and take my time. But things like, I have a very, very, very hard time cleaning the bathtub and cleaning the tiles in the shower and the bathtub. And the reason for that is my breathing. When I'm bent over, because I still have some swelling in my stomach too, plus I have the myopathy of the breathing muscles. I get so out of breath so quickly when I'm doing that. And then I usually end up being in pain from it later on. Another problem I have is I can't sit for a long period of time, but I can't stand for a long period of time either. Like when we went to see Harry Potter, that's like a 2-hour movie, or almost, I think it's over 2 hours actually. Like, just sitting through that, like, I could not get comfortable. I kept having to shift in my seat because I kept getting cramped up. But then at the same time, if I'm standing for a long time, like, you know, example, Saturday when I was with my mom and we were at Bath and Body Works for like a long time, next thing you know, by the time we were leaving the mall, I was limping. I know that unless it was like short hours for a nanny job, I don't think I can do it. You know, 10-hour days, it's not gonna work for me. It's just probably gonna make me more sick. That's not gonna work. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm almost thinking I need like a career change, something different, something that's gonna work better for me health-wise. But I don't know what to go for, because I don't have experience in anything else. So I really don't know where to go or what to apply for or what I can handle or what I can't handle. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't want to have to work with infants or toddlers again in a daycare, which that used to be my favorite age groups. But I know because the last daycare I worked at was when I started to have problems with my health, and I worked with toddlers, and when I was in so much pain, I could not lift the children onto the change table to change their diaper. I had to take the change pad off the change table and put it on the floor of the bathroom and have the children lie down on that. That's all I could do. I couldn't lift them. So I'm just frustrated and annoyed and angry. It's just one of those days. But I am going to try to get this rooting started, and I'm going to try to do it as quickly as I can and hope that I can finish it for this show on Sunday. I'm going to really try my best, but I might have to take a nap or something because I'm already getting tired, but I'm going to see. And, you know, like I just said, like, I'm frustrated that I can't even do that, and we need the money, and I can't find the words. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like people are thinking that I'm over-exaggerating or like I'm lazy. But I really am trying to figure out a job to get, and I've been applying to what I think is good. I just haven't had any luck, and you know, like, my father-in-law, like, he called last night and he was asking, you know, if I've had any job interviews and stuff, and he's like, oh, you know, like, no one's biting, but like, you know, like, I don't think he realizes, you know, the situation. I don't think he realizes that, you know, I'm kind of limited in what I can do. And then I'm, you know, mostly limited in that, like, I don't want to start a new job. And, you know, the first 3 months of a job, you're on probation, you know, and if I start taking, you know, all this time off in the first 3 months for appointments, I highly doubt they'll keep me. As, you know, even if I'm a good worker, you know, that's not something a company is going to want, is, you know, to see that I'm going to need all this time off. You know what I mean? Like, unless they're a really understanding place, I don't know. Like, I'm going to look into, like, an employment place, like, that can help me maybe look for something, or that can suggest something. I don't know what to do. But I'm really frustrated because we were on track, and, you know, we were putting a fair amount of money into savings every month because, you know, we were hoping in like a couple of years to be able to get a house. And we've already had to dig into that savings. Not a huge amount, but, you know, I don't want to have to keep doing that. You know, I want to get out of this basement. You know, it's a nice basement apartment, I must say, but there's not much space, you know, and I'm hoping we can have a kid at some point, and there's no way we can have one here. There's just no room. And, like, that's another thing that's frustrating me, and I'll talk about that more in another video, because there's a whole bunch of crap that goes along with lupus and pregnancy. That's a whole other thing. But today is just not a good day. That's what's going through my head at this point. And before I go, I do want to mention Tremia. I've mentioned her vlog before. And one good thing is that Tremia finally was able to get off of her oxygen. And I was so happy to see that, because I had been praying for her, and I'd been praying that, you know, she'd get off the oxygen, and she did. She was on it, I think she said, for 16 months, and so she's finally off of that, and that's really great. But now, she is going to go through a stem cell transplant in the new year. And she's going to need a lot of support, a lot of prayers, and they're going to need to do some fundraising, because she's going to have to go to Chicago for 3 months for the stem cell transplant. And the stem cell transplant is, like, really, like, the last resort, because nothing else has seemed to work for her. And so I just want everyone out there to pray for Tremia, and just hope and pray that this stem cell transplant will go well, that they'll be able to raise the funds needed for it, and that she will finally have a remission.